Hey there, YouTube fans, AC Productions here, and today is a good day. Finally, the weather let up over here in Chicago, and it's not that cold for me to ride. It's actually really warm. I'm surprised on how warm it is, up to the point where I'm kind of actually getting hot and sweaty wearing my gear, which is actually the point of this vlog. I wanted to touch up on actually installing some AC into the bike. You know, you're riding on a hot summer day, you want to still be protected by wearing your gear, and yet, you know, it gets kind of hot where you feel like you wish you didn't have to wear your gear. Well, today I'll actually be showing you on how to install AC for your bike. And it's pretty simple, actually. We're actually on our way to the store right now to go pick up the AC. And yeah, I'll show you how to install it. And it shouldn't be too complicated. And therefore, when you get those hot summer days, you know, you could just connect the AC to your jacket. It'll be universal, so you don't have to wear a specific kind of jacket to get the AC going. And we'll also connect it with a on and off switch, so you guys could turn on the AC as you please. Well, besides the switch, there'll also be a little indicator or a little dial on it, so you could put as much AC or as little as AC as you want. When you're riding out there and you're trying to enjoy the weather, you're trying to be fully protected with your gear and everything, but yet, you know, you're just like burning up inside. You're just like, man, I just can't breathe because you're so hot. Well, and then when you get to a stop and stuff, and then you know, once you get to your stop, you know, and then you like want to, like, you know, undo your jacket just so you can let some air out. So as you're riding, you're just like, it's so hot that you just want to undo your jacket, open it up a little bit. That way you could just get some air to come inside because you're just so hot, you know. It's yeah, you know, it just becomes a little much. So therefore, by doing this installation, you won't have that issue anymore. You know, you'll be able to get on your bike, have full on gear, and at the same time be cool, meaning temperature wise, while everyone else is like burning up and, you know, being all hot and everything. You're gonna be nice and chill. And the good thing about this installation is that, you know, you're gonna be able to adjust the coolness that you want. So the days of you riding and being too hot and sweaty are over. Alright, so let's get to the store. Alright guys, well here we are at the auto store. So we're going to be picking up the AC can that we need to do the install. Alright guys, now that we made it back, it seems like the temperature is still pretty good for me to do this video outside. So let's get started with the tools. Let me show you what the tools that you're going to need to get the job done. Alright, so starting from the left, we are going to need, we got our extension ratchet with a 10mm socket. Then we also have our ratchet, our little Ziploc bag so we can put our screws in, small Phillips screwdriver, a handle with a 4mm Allen key, your AC, a towel. If you're working outside, you can lay it on the floor in case you happen to drop a screw, so you have it a place for it to catch on. And then you're going to need a tube. Tube would have to be between 3 to 4 feet in length. It doesn't have to be this clear one, it could be a black one if you choose. Just make sure it's between 3 to 4 feet long. Okay, so these are going to be the additional tools that you're going to need to do this job. You're going to need wire strippers, some cable. These are 16 gauge. Scissors. You're also going to need a switch This is going to bypass the system. You're going to need a dial indicator, which is something similar to this. Pretty much a knob that, you know, has, you know, a variable, so you could just turn it. So we could turn it to the desired amount of air conditioning that we want for ourselves. So one of these. We're going to need 4 posi taps. I only have 1 right now. I need to go to the store to get some more. But you're going to need 4 of these because where the location of the wires for the system is kind of in a really tight location. And you know, I usually solder cables, but in this instance we're going to be using posi taps because it'll be a lot easier to connect to the cables. Then you're going to also need 2 female spade connectors, and that's going to go for the switch. The switch has male spade connectors, so the female ones are going to just connect like so, like this. So that's what the spade connectors are for. Alright, so in this part of the video, I'm just going to pinpoint all the spots that all of the screws you're going to need to remove. There's no need for me to remove a few pieces and then show you again. So I'm just going to note to you right now what parts are going to be removed. So it's going to be this triangle piece. It's going to be a 4mm Allen key on this screw here and this screw over here. After you remove this piece, it's going to be your side fairing piece over here. Screw right over here on the top. There is one here at the bottom, and then there's one over here in the front. If you did this particular fairing, you're also going to have a screw over here in the back to remove as well. And then moving on to the front, you're going to have this fairing. Also, when you remove this triangle piece, you're going to have a small little Phillips screw head behind there. That's going to be with the Phillips screwdriver. You're going to need to remove that piece behind this piece of the triangle piece. Then for this piece, you're going to first have to remove this cover up here. And that's going to be a 4mm Allen key right over here, and then right over here also. And then on the inside, there's going to be 2 Phillips screwdrivers, screws, and it's going to be one over here on this side and one over here on this side, and they're on the inside. So you just get your little screwdriver, twist it one time and pull out the little clip, and then after that I will show you what to do next. Also, PS on this one, if you happen to install the front winglet for your bike, you're going to also need to remove this piece also. If you did not have this piece on your bike, then don't worry about this part. So I wanted to show you real quick, guys, as I remove my race fairing. I call it race fairing because I don't know what else to call it, but I've been getting a lot of comments that race fairings collect debris or liquids or something on the bottom. Well, that's what actually it does. As you can see, there is some kind of liquids there and lots of the debris. I will say a lot of rocks that were kicked up when I was riding, and a whole little trail of liquid. Not sure exactly what kind of liquid it is until further investigation. I'll check it, but yep, just wanted to show you guys on the bottom of my fairings. Alright, now you should be at this part, and next what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to remove this screw right here. It's going to be a 10mm socket to remove that. Once you get that removed, the next spot would be right over here on the top. Is also a 10mm bolt. You have to remove that part. Then you're going to have to disconnect your turn signals, which is right down there. There's the cable, so you can reach this. So you just trace your cable from where your turn signals are, and then go ahead and disconnect that cable. If you did my optional R1 style headlights, and you actually have the headlights here at the bottom, you're gonna have to remove those. And to remove that, if you could see inside there, so if you see inside there, that's also gonna be a 10mm socket to remove that that nut. So once you remove that piece, your little headlight down there will come off. And also, before I forget, you're also gonna have to remove this screw right over here, which is part of the over here. And I think that's about it for now. Alright, so now that we're here at the bottom of the bike, we're also going to need to remove, for this side, we're going to have to remove a screw over here at the bottom. And then there's also going to be a screw right over here at the top. Hopefully my camera, there we go, got the light. If you happen to have LED strips on your bike too, you're going to have to unplug those as well. And then also over here all the way at the bottom, if you can see, you don't have anything there? No, I don't think we have anything there. Alright, now that you got the side of the bike all exposed as this, now what we're looking for is the AC condensing unit. So if you look right over here, it's actually right over here. It's actually a lot exposed than I thought it would be. I thought it would be really inside the bike. But here is the AC condensing unit, which is right there. Now what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to grab our AC refrigerant right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to fill that guy up. Now the reason I selected this side is because this is going to be the same size as our AC condensing unit. Now let me show you what I mean. Alright, so if you look at the AC condensing unit, which is right here, And then if you grab your AC refrigerant, you can see it's pretty much about the same size. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we fill up the whole can with this can. Then if you look behind here on the bottom part of the AC condensing unit, you're going to notice that it's going to be like 2 ports. We're going to be accessing the bigger port. This one's already, they've been both capped off in the factory. So we're not going to be using a small one, not unless you want to, but I would say just go with the bigger one, because we want to make sure we get the most amount of AC to our riding jacket or whatever gear that you're wearing. You want to make sure you get the most AC going to yourself. So we're just going to go with the big one. But I'll let you know when we get to that part. So now I'm not sure if you guys know this, but that AC condensing unit actually helps the bike keep cool. So when the bike, starts to get over, if there's not enough coolant in your reservoir, it actually goes to this backup unit to keep your bike cool. So what we're gonna do is we're going to just make sure that we have plenty of fluid in here, because if we only tap into this and not have a bypass switch to turn on this system only, we have a risk of actually making the bike overheat because it's not getting enough refrigerant. So that's why we bought the extra can, so we could fill up this can over here. We're gonna have that switch to bypass the unit, so that way we could only get that way we have the AC for ourselves, and this part make sure it gets enough for the bike so it doesn't overheat. Okay, so first what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're able to fill up the system. And how to fill up the system is that if you look and you follow the hoses up here, it'll probably be a little bit easier if you were to remove this tab, because the filler is actually right over here. Oh, there we go. Now we got more light. So it might be a little tricky to actually fill it because of the water pump hose, which is right here. So, but if you have small hands and you're able to get to it, awesome. But if not, you may want to remove this little clip, which is right over here, so we could actually pull this hose out. To get started, we just got to grab either with your hand, or if you have some pliers, just squeeze these 2 pins and then move the little thing up, and then we're going to grab our AC refrigerant, which is right here, and it has this hose and then this part right here. Now this part, as you can see, there's the part, and it actually will go on there, and then we're just going to push the button to fill this up to its capacity. Okay, now to remove the pin, all you have to do is just get something small, and then if you see that little centerpiece, which is right about there, a little trouble focusing, the little centerpiece, get something that you could push that in, and it's a little pop. You're going to hear it snap, and then you could pull the little pin out. Alright, so once you have the piece out, there's that little push pin I was talking about. So now it's pushed in. Now what you want to do is from the bottom, push it back out all the way until it's like this. So when you put it back into its place, just push the pin like that and it actually locks in place. Okay, now that we got it free from its spot right here, now it'll make it a lot easier for us to actually fill it. So next we're going to do is we're just going to move this little metal piece up more, and then we're going to remove the hose, and then we're going to grab our refrigerant and fill up the can. With the AC condenser unit. Okay, so now before we move on to this next process, after you get the rubber hose off, on your refrigerant, you want to make sure that you remove those 2 little side tabs and the little cover that was on top, because if you leave those stuff on, you won't be able to use the refrigerant. So just make sure you remove all those pieces, and now you're able to use the refrigerant. So now next what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, and to make it a little bit easier, because this hose is a little bit stiff, so it's not really flexing so well, we're going to go ahead, and on this one you could actually remove it off of the can. Makes it a lot easier. So what you want to do now is, if you look inside here, there's like a little pin. That's what's going to shoot the refrigerant into our canister here. So, and on this, if you look in here, there's a little hole right there, and that's how you're going to fill up the refrigerant. So what you want to do is you want to put your 2 fingers here, and then you're going to push out like that. You're going to pull it in to allow the parts to line up. So go ahead and let's go ahead and put that on there. Make sure you line it up, because there we go. It should line up fairly simple. As you can see, it lined up pretty well. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our can. We're going to get this, and we're going to go ahead and start filling up the refrigerant into our canister there. So just give it a little bit of a shake, and then just go ahead and press the button. And as you're doing it, you're already filling up the refrigerant into our canister. So just keep on going and pushing the button and filling it up. Now, if you're wondering on how you know it's going to be full, you're going to notice a little bit of the refrigerant coming out from this side. So a little bit might came out. Once you see that the little liquid come out, you could just go ahead, and we're just going to remove it from here, and then just pull on these 2 parts and then release it from there. So that's how you know it's full. You want to make sure sure you get it as full to here as you can, because if you leave it over here and let it get full, when it finally kicks in, it goes through the hose and then goes up through here and then to your riding gear. So I like to fill it up as much as I can, so I have it up to here. So therefore, I have a little bit more to work with. So now that your refrigerant is already in the AC condensing unit, we're already set to go. So now we're going to go ahead and put this back in, and then we're going to connect our hose back to this little part right here, and then put the little pin, like I said, back on there. So on the bike, what we're looking for 2 sets of cables, which is actually 4 cables all together, and that's actually connected to the condenser unit, which is right here. So if you just follow up to the top, you should see 2 wire looms, which are right over here. And like I said, guys, it's kind of like a tight area, so we won't be able to get to the cables as I were to solder. But if you look closely, and that's why we're using the posi taps. So if you look closely, as soon as the wire loom ends, you're going to see cables poking out through there on each side. On one side is a red and black cable, and on the other side is a blue and black cable. The red and black cable is going to be to bypass the system, so that way we can use the system to cool ourselves instead of having to go to the bike. But at the same time, that's also going to allow only the coolant from the reservoir kit to only go to the motor to cool down the bike. If we don't do this step, like I said, you have a risk of actually damaging the engine, and it could possibly overheat because not enough coolant is going from there, because we're actually using from the canister. And then the other one is going to be for our dial, pretty much, so we could regulate on how much coolant we want coming from the system to our Garmin. So those are going to be the 4 cables that we need to tap into. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to, I don't think there's enough room, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut into this wire loom, and we're going to cut enough so we could put our posi taps in. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so pretty much what you want to do is you want to grab your wire, you want to use your wire strippers, and you want to go ahead and you want to strip away some wire, which I already did right here, as you can see on the positive cable. So next what you're going to do is we're going to grab our posi tap, and you're going to notice there's 2 ends. There's going to be the gray end. This part's going to connect to the bike, and this part is going to connect to this wire right here. So let's go ahead and let's connect this part of the wire in first. So you're just going to go ahead and unscrew this top piece. Then once you unscrew it, you're going to go ahead and put it right away to the wire. So you want to put it in like so. Make sure the threaded part is facing the wire area, and this fatter part is going into the cable. And you're going to see a little bit of the cable exposed. You can see that, guys. You can see the cable exposed there. And that part's going to actually get in contact with that metal piece that you see inside the posi tap. So now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and thread that back on. Make sure you get it nice and tight. Once you get it on there, give it a little tug. If you notice that it's not coming out, then you know you got a good secure connection. Now let's go over to the bike and let me show you how to install it from this end. Alright, so the sun's kind of hitting the bike a little bit, but again, when you're looking at it in real life, this one's the red one, obviously it's black, and then the blue one is going to be positive, and obviously black is going to be negative. So we have our red cable. I don't have black, I don't have any blue cabling, so I'm just going to use red cabling. What we want to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to unscrew the gray part. So we're going to go ahead and unscrew that. And when you unscrew it, you're going to notice that there's going to be this little cavity in there. So there we go. So that part's actually going to slide. We're going to go ahead and slide the cable in that. So let's go ahead and now we're going to grab our positive cable right here. It might be a little tricky, a little bit hard to get it in there, but once you get it started, you could just go ahead and push it all the way through. It might be a little bit tough. All right, but once you get it all the way through in there, now what you want to do is grab your other end, which is right over here, and then you can see it has that point. And you can see it right there. Right there. You see that point? That point is actually going to pierce through the cabling over here, and that's going to give us our connection. So let's go ahead and thread that in. Alright guys, now that this is how it should look like. So as you can see, it's already been cut into it, and it's already on there secure. So it's not going to go in there. I gave it a little bit of tug, and it's really on there. Alright, so that's what you want to do with the next 3. So you want to use your posi taps and do the same method. Okay, so next what you want to do is you want to look for a location on your bike to put your switch. So I think for me, personally, I'm going to put mine right over here. I think is a good spot. So I'm going to put a little bit of epoxy over here and just kind of glue it right over here. So it pretty much would be easy access for me, where I could just kind of push it to turn on the system. And then when I'm not using it, go ahead and turn off the system. So, but for you, you could just pick anywhere on your bike, on your R3, on where you would like to have the system switch. So you could put it much anywhere. It's your personal preference on where you want to put it. So once you do find the location of your switch, don't forget to go ahead and connect it like so. So like I said, I am not going to connect. I want to connect it right now, but I still have to put the epoxy right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect this one for now, just so it could be there. And then it's going to be located right in this location. Then I almost forgot to mention that you're going to also need a spot for your dial, so you could regulate your temperature of your AC. So as you can see, the dial does come with 2 wires, so it's perfect for the cables down there. So once you have everything all connected, for me, I think right now, since I just kind of got so much going on over here. Alright, so here's a little bit better view for you guys. Like I said, I got a lot going on my R3. You may not have so on your R3, but just for temporarily use for me personally, I'm going to go ahead and install my dial indicator in a weird spot, which is going to be right on top of the brake reservoir. So like I said, for me, it's just going to be a temporary setup for now until I clear up a little bit of my mess on my bike and maybe finding a different position or a different spot for my dial. Okay, now that we have all the cables up on the top all connected, now what we're going to do is we're going to go here to the bottom of where the condenser is, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the bigger cap, which is right here. So we're just going to go ahead and let's remove that cap. We're going to keep the small one on there. So once we remove the cap, now what you're going to do is you're going to grab the hose of your choice that you had selected. Like I said, I only got this clear one for now, but I may change this up to a black one. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and connect our hose to the bigger port on the condenser. Once you get it on there like so, you want to go ahead and either you put a zip tie, but for better results, get the clamps that has the little screw on it. Therefore, you could really clamp this close or really tight on there so it doesn't come off. So I'll have all the products I use in this video in the description below. So once we get our hose on there, go ahead and put the zip tie. And then we're going to route our hose. Make sure you keep it away from the engine, because you don't want your hose to melt. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to route it this way and around. Alright, so I have the hose and I have it coming out through here. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to route it up to the top. And like I said, you want to make sure you keep it away from the engine block, because you definitely don't want your hose to be melting. So right now, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to show you what to do, and more on the top on where to route it. You probably go poke it through the frame. And depending on which side is more easier for you to grab the hose so you could connect it to your jacket, either the left side or the right side, it really doesn't matter. It's your personal preference on where you want your hose to connect to. Alright, so as I'm going through the frame here and poke it through here. And actually, I'm going to probably poke it through this part of the tank and just take it from there actually. Then I could probably just, pull enough hose as I need it, and then, connect it to the sleeve of my jacket to get the coolant going. So it might be a little bit tricky just depending on your hose that you have, but just go ahead and continue to feed it through. And then, therefore you could actually, once we have all the plastics and everything on, you probably could just tuck the hose somewhere around here on the side and away from sight when you're not using it. Alright, so as of right now, I just left the hose like that for now. I will pull out more, but then like I said, I'm going to be replacing this one to get a more flexible hose instead of having this one. It's kind of a little bit too stiff on my end. So once you pull out enough cable that you need, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our bike back together. Pretty much is the reversal of us taking it apart. So let's go ahead and get our main piece on and get everything all situated. Alright guys, now that we got the bike out and running and we're ready and on the streets, so we're going to ride a little bit. Got my full gear on, and we're going to see, after a little bit of riding, on how hot you could get in your riding gear. So we'll probably pull over maybe at that next stop sign over there, and then I have my digital gauge, and we're going to take a reading on how hot I am inside my riding gear. Alright, so let's pull over here. And then back it up a little bit. Alright, so now let me get out my digital my digital gauge, and we're gonna take a measurement or a temperature measurement of how hot it is inside my jacket. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the bike so you guys can hear me a little bit better. So let's go ahead and turn that off, and let me get out my my temperature gauge here. Okay, well hopefully you guys can see this. This is my digital temperature gauge. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna unzip my jacket and take a digital reading of inside my jacket. So let's go ahead and unzip this. There we go. Alright, hopefully you guys could see that. I am at 81 degrees inside my jacket. Now that is insane amount of heat to be riding around in. So let's go ahead and let's plug in our new AC into our jacket, and let's see how well it does on cooling us down. Alright guys, I had to pause the video because I dropped my glove on the floor. So alright, well let's go ahead and let's get this AC unit started. Now first things you want to do, you always want to make sure that your bike is turned on. Never turn on the AC unit when your bike is off, because it can drain some battery. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn on our bike. Alright, bike is on. So next thing we're going to do is we are going to turn on the system. Alright, system's on, and then we're going to go in and adjust our cooling level. Make sure the camera's there seeing you guys. So here's our coolant level. Right now it's at 0 because it's off. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it up probably halfway. Alright, so now that it's halfway, alright, so I could hear the system going. We're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our hose. And let's go ahead and put it in our jacket to get the circulation. Ooh, that feels cold. Holy cow. That is really cold. Wow, man. Oh, man, this is going to feel awesome. Oh, man. Okay, yeah. Woo. Okay, it's kind of hard to talk. I'm a little blown away, guys, on how cool this thing is feeling. All right, it's going to feel really good when I ride. All right, so cool. So now we got our hose. All right, so we got our hose connected to the jacket. It is already blowing the air. I can tell you, oh man, only if you could feel how cold it is through the camera, guys. Oh man, this system is awesome. All right, so we got the hose connected to the jacket. It's already blowing cool air. I could already feel it. We're gonna go ahead and take it for a little spin, ride around a little bit, make sure get this thing. It's already going in, but it's already cooling me down a lot. So, but we're just going to give it a ride because I just feel like riding. So, let's go ahead, let's do this, and then I'll take another temperature reading on how cool, compared to the other one, how cool it got. Alright, so let's get going. We already got everything set. Alright, let's go. Nobody behind me. Alright, let's go take this out for a spin, and ooh, this is feeling good. Oh man, I don't even know why I did not do this before. Wow, guys, whew. I think I'm gonna have to turn it down a little bit because it's really chilly with this this new system. All right, so already here, yeah. All right, take it up on the street. Oh, what a difference, guys. I think I'm never going to get off. Whoa, I'm never going to get off my bike with this new system. Oh, this is going to make riding so much better for the summertime. I don't have to worry about, really getting so hot and sweaty, feeling like taking off all my gear. Not anymore. Now, if you guys are wondering on how often you guys should refill the system, well, it all depends on how often you guys ride. If you guys ride very often, then you may want to check the system. I would say you could probably go get away, if you have it on low for sure, you could go get away with a whole couple months for sure if you have it on low. If you have it in the middle, I would say every month. If you have it on high, maybe you want to check it every week or so. Alright, so as soon as we get to that green light over there, I'll take out my temperature gauge, and then we'll give another reading on seeing how cool it is inside my jacket temperature wise. Alright, so we'll just pull behind up this car. Alrighty. Alright, so let me get out my my temperature gauge, and then we're gonna give another reading, and let's see how cool my jacket got. And I'm gonna turn off the system right now. Just go put it back to 0 here, and go ahead and turn it off over here. Alright, system is shut down, so I'm gonna go ahead. Now it's safe for me to turn off the bike. Alright, now that I got the bike off, let me get out my my digital thermometer here. Alright, so here it is, the digital thermometer. Alright, so now let me go unzip my jacket, and let me give a temperature reading. Whoa, look at that, guys. Holy cow, can you guys see that? It is 46 degrees inside my jacket. Wow, I would have never thought it would be that cold inside my jacket. Because honestly, guys, like I said, outside temperature and me being in with my gear, it just feels so hot. And with this cooling, whoa, that is a super huge difference. Hopefully you guys saw that. Man, oh wow, that's a huge deal. Alright guys, well that pretty much concludes the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video on how to install AC onto your R3. It does a major difference on cooling you down. Man, summers are not going to be the same now. Well, I'm going to be laughing at everyone else who's riding and like, you know, burning their butts off, you know, with their gear, and I'm over here nice and cool. Alright guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to hit that notification button so you guys can be up to date with my videos. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'd like to hear you guys' comments about what do you guys think about the new AC system for the R3. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button. Again guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Alright guys, well hopefully you enjoyed the April Fool's video. It was an amazing video to do. I had lots of fun doing it. It was really cool to you know, make it look legit. That was the main goal, to make it look legit, to make it look like, make it sound like it was actually possible to do something like that and make it look really realistic. Well, if you enjoyed that video as much as I did, stay tuned for more videos to come up in the future. I do have lots of ideas for making some videos, and it's going to take a little time, guys. I'm sorry that I haven't posted any videos lately. It's just that I've been swamped doing installation work. Like I said, now that the bike season is quickly approaching for us Chicagoans, a lot of people are calling me to do installations on custom headlights, LED glow kits, and stuff like that. So that's kind of been eating up most of my time to do these awesome videos for you guys. But like I said, as soon as I do get a break in some of these installations, I will put out more content. You just gotta have to give me some time and be patient with you, and also just be patient with me, guys. I do enjoy doing these videos for you. I take a lot of satisfaction on knowing that I'm helping some of you guys out with some of these installs. So, alright guys, again, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.